And welcome back, everyone. We have a special edition of the SDL podcast this week here with my co-host Matt and Edie behind the scenes. We have our All-Star announcement episode, as well as the three-point contest participants. So I'm going to let Matt take it away now. We're going to have an exciting episode for you guys, and stay tuned to see who makes it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for the intro, Joey. First of all, appreciate the late night jump on by you for the emergency podcast. Folks,
Perfect.
this just came across the wire, and frankly, I'm gonna be getting these live. So I'm gonna list them off as they come through. Joey and I are gonna react. We're at some point we're gonna talk about snubs. We're gonna talk about who's deserving, who wasn't even on the ballot that should have been on the ballot. We have a action packed podcast here tonight, and then as Joey said, the second half we're going to talk about the 3-point contest. We're going to announce the participants in that. It's going to be super exciting. That one I do have in advance. But let's start out with the All-Star game. So just to remind everybody, it's there's no captains this year. We're split by conference. We don't have to divide and conquer like we did last season. So we have the Creators Conference and the Founders Conference. We put this together, or the All-Star Committee, I should say, put this together by listing total pie and average pie per game, put a little weight behind it, and said, here are the top 10 guys from each league based on the way they've played, on the number of games they've played, and how much impact. To remind everybody, pie stands for player impact estimate. So who has had the biggest impact on the games so far this first half of the season? Let's put the top 10 from each conference on there. And then let's let the players in the league decide. Vote, top 7 get in. Next 3 are honorable mention. And don't forget, everybody wants that star right on their uniform. So let's dive right into it. I'm getting these hot off the presses. Let's remind everybody very quickly of who was on the Creators. We're going to start with the Creators Conference. Let's start with the Creators Conference. Okay, so I'm going to open these one at a time. First on the ballot, and first one in the game, and one of 2 people. By the way, these are going to be in order of most votes received. One of 2 people on either side to be unanimous. First off, for the Creators, Anthony Escobedo. Joey, give us a reaction. He's your brother-in-law. I don't think there's a ton of surprises in here. Esco's beloved by the league and obviously one of the top players according to Pie. Give us your initial gut reaction there.
100%. He's got to be on the team there. Last year's reigning MVP. His team is balling out this year. The Red Eye Rebounders again. They're looking to be another title contender. Yeah, he's one of the top guys in the league. Does it from the inside, outside, makes everyone around him better. He deserves that unanimous number 1 selection for the All-Star game.
Absolutely. I'm sure Edie's going to be rolling some highlights as we play some of these players, but he might be the most efficient mover in the league. I mean, watching him, it looks slow. It just does. There's no 2 ways about it. It looks slow. Yet he's always a step ahead of his defender. He's always a step ahead of whoever's trying to chase him, which is just a crazy thing to think about. He's just a very efficient mover. He's obviously, doesn't have that same game as LeBron, but that is very LeBron-esque. LeBron moves very efficiently on the court. Even at his age now, he glides, he rests well on the court. He does that active playing, resting. Esco does a whole lot of that, so I don't think anybody's surprised here. Let's go to our second highest vote getter in the Creators Conference. Okay, this is the other 100% vote getter, Jason 3D Edie. Early season MVP. I think we talked about this 3 weeks ago in the pod after, I think it was week 3 or week 4, has set the SDL record for 3-pointers in a game with a, I forget what it was, 12, 13, whatever. It was a lot. It was against my team, the Orange team. But really incredible early season performance from Edie. Obviously, he's a great shooter, great basketball player. But his game's a little bit different this year. Eaton on the boards a little bit more. He doesn't have Big J down there clogging up and picking up all that pie from those rebounds. So Edie's getting a lot more rebounds. Again, probably the best set 3-point shooter. Him or Baumer, right there, 1 and 2 from a 3-point perspective. Edie very deserving. So very interesting too. Creators Conference, the only 2 players in the entire league to be unanimously voted in. What's your reaction about 3D Edie making it in?
100%, definitely well deserved. Like you said, his game is evolved a little bit this season. I've seen him do some new stuff, some floaters, up and unders, reverse layups, all that good stuff. But he's still sniping from downtown, like you said. Set the SDL record this season. Like you said, I believe it's 13
Yeah,
3 pointers.
sounds
But we'll
right.
double check. So, sounds about right. But yeah, he definitely deserves it. He's our commander in chief for the most part, leading us, getting social media going, and he deserves a spot out there and unanimous. I know I voted for him, so I can only speak for myself. But yeah, definitely another unanimous selection, well deserved.
Yeah, and good point that you brought up that you voted for him. So, of the 50 guys in the league, 38 people voted.
Got it. I
As
didn't know
just
that.
as an FYI, 38 people voted. You can probably guess who the 12 are. They've never seen the podcast, nor have they ever been in
Yep.
banter. But yeah, 38 of our 50 guys voted. Okay, let me open up the next one here. Third most votes in the Creators Conference is Big Mount Mirrorball. Big J, the Creator Conference's leader in pie per game, 23.6. That's only bested by Wakasaka Flame, Gary
Mhm.
Saka. However, uh, Big J has played 5 games. Saka's only played 4, so Big J leads the league in total pie. Obviously, a very deserving player. Not sure who the one person, I think it was one, let me check. Yeah, not sure who the one person that left Big J off of their ballot was, but it is what it is. Big J, very deserving, despite not being the shot blocker he was last year. Shout out Sports Vizio. Well deserving to be in there. We obviously know Pi is super impacted by rebounds because in the SDL, a half court game, 4-on-4, you win the rebound battle, you very well have a good shot of winning the game. What are your thoughts, Big J, kind of taking down that big man spot for the Creators?
Once again, well deserved. All star last season. Obviously, he's playing at a decently MVP level for White there. Without him, they wouldn't be getting many wins on the board. Great around the hoop, outside shot, blocking shots, altering shots, clogging up driving lanes, passing lanes. Probably the longest arm reach in the SDL, I believe.
We
So
measured it 6'9".
yes, that's insane. That's NBA levels right there. So he's a big guy out there. He doesn't leave his feet much, but he doesn't need to. He plays above everyone else. His shot fake gets me on the broadcast all the time. So yeah, definitely well deserved for Mount Mirrorball, Big J. Congrats.
Okay, number 4 here. Interesting. Somehow, well, I have the note here. Thank you for sending the note, Edie. Um, Surprisingly not unanimous. Our fourth entry into the All Star game for the Creators is none other than the assassin, Dennis Kelly. And just as an FYI, as humble as the man is, the reason he was not unanimous, he was the only one that did not vote for himself. So shout out Dennis Kelly. Huge props there. Joey, quick reaction. I think these first 4 are absolute no brainers on this ballot. So we're ripping through these pretty quick. Give
Yep.
us a walkthrough on Dennis and why you think he's deserving.
Absolute lock. Once again, one of the best offensive players in the league. That's not knocking his defense. Also, great defender. He can knock down any shot. It looks silky smooth when he does it out there. Plays great team ball. Seems to make everyone around him better. That's what you look for in a teammate. He always makes the right decision with the basketball. And like I said, that shot is absolutely pure. Him and Escobedo probably have the two prettiest jump shots in the league. The rotation on it, they all just seem to go in a perfect arc every time. So Dennis, definitely deserving. Congratulations, Dennis.
Absolutely. Don't really have a ton to add. Dennis, you're my boy. Super well deserved. Super humble move not voting for yourself. So you deserve it. I'm gonna call you unanimous. I'm gonna change it. 3 people were unanimous.
Agreed.
So really good job. All right. First 4 of those were slam dunks.
Yep.
The last 3 spots, I'm gonna remind everybody, last 3 spots comes down to Rosenberg, Rosenthal, O'Hearn, Diaz, myself, and Furman. Number 5, let me open it up here.
Yep.
Not so Jewish Jordan, Jason Rosenberg. Joey, a couple weeks ago, we
Right.
talked about this on pod. He wouldn't have been eligible for the voting if we'd done this last week.
Correct.
Played
Yeah.
a
Yep.
monster game, 32-9-4, something like that.
Yep.
I will say last night his blue collar ballers lost to yours truly. I got to run around and cover Rosenberg for 36 minutes. My
Yep.
legs are still sore. I'm still tired. A man of my size and stature should not be covering a guard like Jason Rosenberg. And I'm happy to say we won. So shout out there. But Yeah, Rosenberg, not surprising, commands respect. The fact that he got on the ballot, you knew he was going to get voted in.
Mhm.
Only a handful of people left him off of their ballot, and frankly, that's probably because the first handful of games in the season where he wasn't his normal Rosenberg self.
Right.
But I'm really not surprised he got one of those 7 coveted slots. What are your thoughts and reaction?
Once again, another lock. Rosenberg, I believe he was a captain to the All Star team last season.
Good
He's
point.
one of the top tier players in this league. You can throw him the ball at any given time and say, "Get me a bucket," and he will do that. Left-handed, smooth, mid-range is pure. He can shoot the three, takes you off the dribble. Plays underrated defense. Doesn't really get praise for his defense, but he is a great defender in this league too. Like I said, Rosenberg definitely deserves to be on there. I'm surprised he wasn't also almost unanimous as well, because I know he's one of those guys that everyone believes in, and you know what he gives you night in and night out. So congrats, Rosenberg.
Absolutely. Okay, 2 spots left, and the next one. Oh, I love this pick. This is great. It's the dentist. Mikey Rosenthal got in the 6th highest vote getter.
Mhm.
Um, Man, super well deserving. Did he get in last year or was he an honorable mention last year?
I believe I think he played in the game. I'm not sure because I was doing the MC for the game. I think a few people backed out, so he was able to get in there and play for the team
So
last
he
year, I
was at
believe.
HM
So
then, yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Super deserving guy.
Yep.
So underrated in the league. Again, he would have been my vote for most improved player last year. For how you knew him coming in. Again, with a minimum number of shot attempts, I forget what the number was. He led the league in field goal percentage, which is
Mhm.
crazy for a guard and a slasher and somebody that does shoot a little bit from the outside.
Yep.
Um, but when you watch Red play, he is. I mean, Calfer's so athletic.
Mhm.
Esco's obviously incredibly good. But Rosenthal is that magic piece for them that really opens up that offense. His ability to slash lets Calfer and Esco shoot.
Yep.
His ability to finish on the inside. Also, very underrated defender. Not that he's a top defender from the outside in the league, but
Right.
very, very solid defender, can lock down anybody's number 2 or number 3 option. Super stoked for Rosenthal, really good dude. I'm thrilled he's in. That's awesome. So good for him. What are your thoughts?
100%. He's like an ultimate glue guy. He does everything you need. He slows the offense down. He can run it for you, makes the right pass. One thing I enjoy about his game, he always, I believe he's right-handed, but when he goes up with the left hand a lot and finishes, you like to see that
Hmm.
going up strong with the offhand, getting it to go. So congratulations, Mikey. Well deserved defensive guy. Runs around, sets offense, sets screens. Offensive rebounder for the guard position, does that very well. So yeah,
Yes,
the Red would not be the team they are without him. So yeah, congratulations, Mikey the dentist. Can't wait to see you this weekend.
absolutely. And then the final spot. Let me open that one up here. Wow, our first rookie. So that means it's either O'Hearn or Diaz.
I forgot. Yeah, yeah, the Rafael Diaz. Let's see. Drum roll.
Brian O'Hearn,
Oh,
welcome to
Hearn.
the SDL. You're an all-star, man.
Hey.
16.8 pi per game, 84 total pi in 5 games. Had a monster 20 something point game. I think it was 2 weeks ago. Is
Yep.
obviously a fantastic defender. Um, yeah, not much to say for me. I know you know her a little bit better than I do. Give us
Yep.
your reaction. I mean, everybody on the list is obviously deserving, but
Mhm.
O'Hearn's had some offensive splash zone games that are
Yep.
just phenomenal. That he's just played his way into this.
Once again, yeah, just watching him play, you can tell he's a fundamental basketball player. Does all the right things, makes the right screens, makes the right cuts at the right time, the right pass. Doesn't really force anything. So yeah, um, defense is where he lays his head at night. That's his bread and butter go to. He's always got the toughest task. It seems every night, every week, excuse me, and he's up for the task. Seems to be one of the better defenders in the league now. That's why we call him the guard dog. But congratulations, Brian O'Hearn. Welcome to the SDL All Star Game as the first rookie to do it.
Absolutely. And so, if I'm not mistaken, is that right? One, two, three, four, five,
7.
6 of the top. Oh no, it's all 7. The
Yep.
top 7 in pie, in the league were the ones that were voted in. So I guess a lot of people voting on that pie. So that leaves honorable mentions in order of votes received: Diaz, Furman, and myself. I do have a note here saying that not so Jewish Jason Rosenberg. Uh, and I believe O'Hearn will not be in attendance.
Gotcha.
Let me just double check that really quickly. Oh, sorry. O'Hearn is making it. Rosenthal is not. So
Okay.
Mikey Rosenthal, Jason Rosenberg not playing. So that means Diaz, as honorable mention, will be playing in the All Star game. Furman would be next up. He's also not attending the event. So I will be suiting up. And so the 7 that are in and voted with stars will be Esco, Edie, Dennis, all unanimous. Big J, Jason Rosenberg, Mike Rosenthal, and Brian O'Hearn. Playing in the game will be Esco, Edie, Jay, Dennis, O'Hearn, Diaz, and myself. 2 orange playing in the game. Just saying, a little color splash there.
There we go.
Overall, for the creators,
Mhm.
give me your best 5. Build a lineup for me, Joey.
Real
Give me
quick.
and not with the not with the folks that won't be there. The folks that are playing
Right.
in the game. So include
Okay.
me, include Diaz. Although I'm not going to be starting on this 5, so don't put me in. But the
Okay.
5, give me a lineup, build it, point guard, and again, just to remind everybody, we do play. It's a very abbreviated short game, but it is 5-on-5.
Four,
So
four. Well, 5-on-5 was it? 4-on-4 with a sub.
no, we're gonna do 5-on-5 for this
Oh,
All
we're gonna
Star
do.
game.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay, gotcha.
we're
I
doing
didn't
a
know that
full
this year.
full
Okay,
5-on-5 for this All Star. Breaking news.
understood.
Play the
Okay.
music.
Yep.
We are going to do a full 5-on-5 for this. So build me a point guard through center lineup. I'm going to remind you one more time: Esco,
Got it.
Edie, Jay, Dennis, O'Hearn, Diaz, and myself. Build me a lineup.
So okay, yeah, we're gonna go with the guys just playing. Okay, so I'm gonna put Big J at the 5. He's gonna be like my Shaq down there, guarding the paint, doing all that stuff. I'm
Perfect.
gonna put Esco at the 4. He can stretch the floor, still get
Interesting.
size. Yep. And then I'm gonna go Dennis at the 3.
Yep.
Blocks down D. Okay, so then I got 3. Let's see here. Then I'm gonna go O'Hearn. He's gonna be the
Okay.
lockdown defender at the 2. Right, and then
Okay.
I'm gonna have Edie running point, Steph Curry style, slinging the shots out there. That's my 5 right there.
Okay. I like it. I would have gone a slightly different route. I would have gone Edie 1, Esco 2,
Okay,
Dennis 3.
same.
I was going to let my boy Diaz run the 4.
Mm-hmm.
He's a big guy, one of the top rebounders in the league, by the way, very underrated rebounder, and then Big J at the 5.
Yep.
That's what I would have run. So it's just a Diaz for O'Hearn switch. No
Right.
shot against O'Hearn. I think it's just a
Yep.
better lineup fit for the Creators Conference. But
I like it. I like it.
awesome, guys! Congratulations. The guys that are actually getting stars in the jerseys, thank you in advance for letting me suit up with you. Really looking forward to taking the court, and frankly, just making you guys look good.
Mm-hmm.
I think
Get the capsy
I
off.
think if consider this a formal ask of Edie, I think I'd like to be mic'd up for that game, which would be super interesting and really fun, especially since again I'm not going to play and take away, not going to play a ton and take away from the actual All Stars that deserve it.
Well, last year it was so hot out there, guys were begging to get taken out of the game. It was a scorcher last year. Hopefully, we get a little cloud coverage this year. Don't remember,
Yeah,
folks.
I
We were
think
down here
I
in the
think it's
heat.
supposed to be 71 and
Much better. Much
yeah,
better.
71 with some coverage.
This is our winter season, folks. So the summer season was a little bit hotter. So, yep.
Yeah, true. Okay, are you ready for the Founders Conference?
Let's do this.
Okay, so no unanimous from this side.
Yeah.
All the unanimous were on the creators. So let's open up our first
surprise me.
envelope here.
Yep.
No brainer. You probably already know of all the people.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's been lighting up the scoreboard here in the SDL for up until last night. The undefeated Purple Patio Pounders. Go ahead, take a shot. Tell me who our number 1 player is on the founder side. Excuse me.
Gotta be Mr. Vasquez.
100%.
He's come to
David
40-point
Vasquez.
games. Yeah, he's been absolutely lighting it up and tearing it up this season. Like another early MVP candidate. He probably has my vote in that section. He's tearing it up. Congrats, Vasquez.
Absolutely. Only missing 1 vote. I do not know if it was himself or not. There was just a note in there that that didn't vote for himself. It's very possible that that Vasquez didn't vote for himself too. Only missing 1 vote. Okay, number 2 on the list. Wow. Okay, number 2 on the list.
Mm-hmm.
A teammate of yours, also missing 1 vote. Paging Dr. Jason Perry to the All Star game. Dr. Jason Perry to the All Star game.
Yep.
Had a monster showing last night. One of the most
Absolutely.
efficient
Yes.
shooting nights in the entire SDL history, potentially. I think he started 5 of 6 from 3, 6 of 7 from the floor, something crazy like that. Huge upset win over those Purple Patio Pounders. So very fitting that those 2 were our first guys.
Yep.
Give some love to your teammate. Tell us a little bit about what it's like playing with Dr. J.
Oh, I love playing with Dr. Perry. He's one of my favorite teammates of all time throughout my whole life. He always makes the right play. When you need a big play, a big shot, and you kick the ball to him, you know it's going down. He's always out there encouraging everybody. He has one of the best jumpers I've seen. Like we said, he's got probably the best hang time in the
Oh,
league.
he
He
floats.
just
He
floats up there
floats.
like on a flying nimbus cloud, just hanging out. And his jumper is pure. He's got the turnaround floater. He can finish inside. He passes well. He defends a lot of the best players most of the week. So, yeah, definitely well deserved, Dr. Perry. And like you said, this week he was unconscious from the field. Put Green Team on his back to beat the number one team in purple. So, once again, congrats, Dr. Pete.
Absolutely. Okay, let's see who the third most vote getter in the Founders Conference is. Oh, this is great.
Mm.
I'm so happy for him. Third highest vote getter. Again, there's some big names on this list.
Mm.
Third highest vote getter, Captain Matt Sissio. Let's go,
Deserved.
baby.
Deserved.
So deserved. He's been playing. Again, last night was an exception. He was off last night. It's a shame. But up until this point, was having monster games inside. 3-point shooting has been incredible.
Mm-hmm.
Super excited for Matt Sissio. That's awesome. Shout out, Matt. Really good job. Very deserving to be the third highest vote getter in the Founders Conference. That's really, really awesome. Joey, thoughts?
Absolutely well deserved. His touch around the rim this season has been remarkable. Every time he gets it down the block, you think it's going in. His 3-point shot has been pure for the most part. Underrated defender with his size and length down there. He's able to switch on smaller defenders. He D's up the big guys. He gets blocks. He gets rebounds. He boxes out. Hits the mid range at a decent clip and can pass. So, yeah, absolutely monster season for Mr. Sissio. I had a great time following a couple games with him last night. There's a reason Purple was number one in the power rankings all season so far, and he is a major, major, major part of that. So once again, congrats, Mr. Sissio, on the All-Star nod.
Absolutely. Okay, fourth envelope here, and the fourth highest vote getter in the Founders Conference. That would be none other than the guy who's leading the league in pie per game, Gary Waka Saka Flame. Look, let's just say the quiet part out loud. Gary's ruffled some feathers, man. He's gotten in here. He's the second rookie voted in.
Yep.
He's gotten in here, and that dude plays tough.
Yes.
He goes for swipes. He goes, to the hoop as hard as anybody, and he frankly he doesn't give a crap. He is going hard, head down to try and get into the paint, draw some contact, and look. I mean, he's he might be the only guard I would say that could out rebound you. You're a very good rebounding guard.
Yep.
Saka's, he just wants it more than basically everybody else on the court at all times.
Yep.
So good job, Saka. You're eating up that pie. Probably be leading the league in pie if you'd played all 5 games. You obviously only played 4. But number 1 pie per game, obviously, pretty well deserving.
Yep. Saka, I don't know if anyone watched the live stream last night, but my player comparison for him would be the Tasmanian Devil from Toon Squad. Just in there, always spinning around, going super hard on everyone, but it's effective. He hits the right angles at the right time. He jumps at the right time. He's never off balance, it seems. Last night, he had a few huge shots, like one to end the half, I believe, falling out of bounds from deep. He hits big shots. He gets huge rebounds. He gets huge space for himself underneath with an array of moves on the block. So congratulations, Gary. Well deserved. Those 30 and 20-point games don't go unrecognized, especially in the pie category. That's why he's leading it for the Founders Conference right now and putting Maroon in the right direction in the standings. They're hot right now. So, yeah, congratulations, Gary. Well deserved.
And one interesting thing, Saka and O'Hearn were the only rookies on the ballot. Both got voted in. So very cool. Very cool there. Okay, let's go to number 5. 5th highest vote getter. Oh man, this is another good one. So thrilled. Jared Shore is in as the number 5th highest vote getter. Jay Shore, you go first, Joey. Give us your initial reaction. I know you're smiling. There's some guys you just root for, right? And Shore is definitely one of them.
So I've been playing against Jared now for it seems maybe 10 seasons between a couple of different leagues or whatever. But I love his game. It does. It obviously shows up in the score, the box card a lot, but not as much as you would think. From taking on the hardest defensive assignments every night, slowing down the offense, making the right pass, shooting the lights out from 3 this season. Let's talk about it. He has absolutely skyrocketed his 3-point percentage. It's a high arcing shot. It looks funky, but it goes in. He does everything for Purple. So I'm super happy for Jared. Congrats to him. I know Jax will be happy too. So congrats to both of the Shore family over there.
Actually, yeah, short party of five.
That's right.
Totally, yeah. The arcing shot, man. He's the bringer of rain. When that thing, we're gonna be playing outside too. He
Yes.
might actually cause rain playing in this All Star game with the way he shoots. Yeah, I think was just outside the cusp of the All Star game last year,
Mm,
and it's really because of the points. He's
right.
always been an assist machine. He's always been an exceptional rebounder for his size. He always is dominated on the defensive end. This season he's putting the points together. And look, he's not scoring 20 something a game, but he was I did he even average 10 last year? I mean, it might have
Maybe around
been
that, right? Yeah.
8, 9, 10, maybe
Mhm.
11. He's putting together decent offensive games that had just, frankly taken him to another level. So he was on the fringe before, he stepped it up this year, and now he's in. It's a perfect story. It's a storybook, or as the kids say now, it's a movie for him.
Yep.
So absolutely perfect for sure. That's
Yep.
awesome. Let's go to number 6.
Okay.
Sixth highest vote getter here in the Founders Conference, none other than Lon the Don.
Well
From the
deserved.
black team, defending champs, well deserved. I think Lon was another one outside looking in last year from an all star
Mhm.
perspective.
Mhm.
Was right on that cusp, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep.
And honestly, I don't think Lon's put together any showstopper games this year. He had a couple of those last year, but I'm not
Mhm.
sure there's anybody that's been more consistent at what they're really good at
Yep.
than Lon this season. He has been an absolute anchor for the black team. Played all 5 games, showing up day in, day out. Lon's a monster on the boards. We know that. Very solid offensive player, but he's just delivered on everything asked of him from that black team. So, yeah, no surprise there. Lon, super well deserved.
Yep, our reigning playoff MVP from season one.
Good point.
He was one of probably the biggest snubs for the All Star game in season one as well. We all thought he deserved a shot, but we didn't have enough slots for that. But Lon plays a nice, smooth, calm game. Screens are beautiful every time. He rolls perfectly. Mid range is pretty smooth butter all the time. He can hit the three when asked to. He doesn't shoot it a lot, but he's been knocking a few of those down. Plays great defense down low too. Like
Mm-hmm.
he takes up a lot of space down there. He knows where to move around the hoop underneath. Gets a lot of rebounds, a lot of offensive rebounds for the Legends out there. And there's a reason that they're the defending champs and probably one or two in the AP poll this week as well. So
Yeah,
shout out to Lon. Well deserved. Congrats, brother.
absolutely.
Mhm.
And with our 7th and final spot, probably a guy that's eaten more shit in this league than most other people,
Mhm.
but finally has a team around him that he might be able to do good. Uh, Number 7, Scotty Pepper.
Yep.
One of the better all around guys in the league. Can pass, can rebound, can obviously shoot. Doesn't play inside a ton, but is obviously tall.
Right.
Can shoot from the outside, drives the ball pretty well. Was Mr. Triple Double last season. I think he led the league in triple doubles, almost averaged a triple double
Mhm.
last season. I don't really have too much else to say. Just super deserving, Scotty Pepper.
Yep, I played a few games with him last season before the trade deadline. This guy does a little bit of everything for the team. He rebounds, he scores, he sets other teammates up. He can stroke the three ball, get it rolling. A few times he could put a team on his back. Absolutely go for the win. He's got a little bit of a better scenario over there with Maroon right now. They seem to be playing a little bit better, gelling, chemistry coming together. But yeah, well deserved Scotty Pepper, the walking triple double out there, spicy pepper.
Absolutely. And then to round out the honorable mentions in order of votes received, Ezra Goldstein,
Mhm.
my beloved co-host Joey Winston, and wrapping up the Founders Conference, Ian Rosa. Let's check if there's any absentee people on this list. Um, no, it appears everybody is going to be playing. So, that's going to be your squad: Vasquez, Perry, Sissio, Saka, Shore, Lon, and Pepper. Joe, I'm going to ask you the same question. Build me a 5.
Oh, this one's a little tougher. Yeah, give me a second to look at it here. I like it. Well, I got to take Vasquez. I'm going to put him at my 3 because his shooting has been crazy this season. Okay,
Okay.
so that's a little size up to 3. I'm going to put Saka at the 1. He's been absolutely
No
eating,
brainer.
going absolutely crazy. I'm going to put Perry at the 2. Gives me some
Yep.
size in between. He can shoot the rock there. And then I'm going to go. Oh man, I really want to take Jared, but I kind of just took up all my guard spots a little. I'm gonna run a little bit bigger lineup because I'm thinking about what I picked earlier. Then I'm going to go with Scotty Pepper at the 4. He can stretch it out a little bit there,
Okay.
gives you height, rebounding, and then I'm going to go with probably give Sissio. Sissio with Scotty Pepper down there, a little twin towers. I was thinking I wanted to put Lon down there, but with that lineup there, I like that everyone can stretch the floor, space it out, run a little 5-man. What about you, Matt? Give me a 5 team for that.
Um, the no brainer is Saka at the 1.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's an incredible one. I'm going Perry at the 2. I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to go Shore at the 3.
Okay.
And only because he plays bigger than he is, he can cover any 2 guard, 3 guard, any wing player out there.
Even
I'm gonna
power
go
forward.
Vasquez at the 4.
Okay.
Look, Vasquez covered me when we played purple.
Yep.
And while he's at a pretty severe height and weight disadvantage, I just know from experience with him, he plays bigger than he is. He can absolutely play the 4.
Yep.
And if I'm not mistaken, I had Esco as my 4. No, I'm sorry, I had Diaz as my 4, which
Correct.
is
Yep.
just a beautiful matchup.
Yep.
Vasquez versus Diaz. And then the 5's got to be Sissio, third highest vote getter. He was 1, 2, 3, 4, fifth on the list in Pi. And based on the creator side, again, the top Pi guys made it 6 and 7. For Sissio to jump a bunch of guys just goes to show how well he's playing. So Sissio absolutely earns the 5.
Yep.
Lon and Pepper, I mean, can you have a better bench than that? Come on. I mean, that's just Pepper
Yep.
can play any position, including point guard.
Right.
And Lon will be able to sub in the big guys. So let's go through. Let's go through. I'm going to talk about my 5 on 5 first. So it would be Saka versus Esco. Those would be my 1s. I then had Esco as my 2, correct?
Yep.
Yeah, I had Esco at the 2 versus Perry.
Yep.
That's a good matchup.
Yep.
Dennis at the 3 versus Shore, which again, that's a great matchup because Shore is gonna give Dennis all sorts of fits. Dennis is the best offensive guy in the league.
Yep.
I then would have Vasquez versus Diaz. Say less. I mean, that's just where's my popcorn?
Yep.
And then 5, Big J against Sissio. Nobody can really cover truly Big J. He's just a function of his own field goal percentage. But conversely, Matt will pull Jay out on offense, and be a really interesting matchup. Based on my 5, and we'll do yours next, but based on my 5, who do you got in a straight 5 on 5? Forget the bench for a second.
We got some good players in this league, folks.
I know.
It's good. Talent level is right there. I got to give the nod a little bit to the Creators Conference. They got the guys in there, the unanimous votes. So I think, I'm not saying they're more talented, but those guys are a little bit higher up in the pie and everything like that. So I'm going to give a little bit of nod to your Creators team over there.
I would go to the Creators for one reason only. In the SDL Gambling Manifesto, we're a game that means something, even though this is just an all-star game, means something. You never bet against Esco.
Escobedo, yep. Can't
Just
go
it.
against
You just
him.
never bet. You never bet against the guy. It's just
Right.
it's it. It's a knockout tournament. It's a 3-point contest. I don't care if it's curling and you're on ice. You don't bet against Esco. The guy just performs.
Shows up.
How about with your lineup? If you remember, you went
I do. Yep, I
Edie,
know.
O'Hearn, Dennis.
Dennis,
O'Hearn.
Big J, and Esco. So I'll go through. I have my point guard matchup would be Saka versus Edie.
Okay, same.
Then I'm gonna have Perry going up against O'Hearn. Then I'm going to have Vasquez going up against the assassin Dennis.
That's a fun matchup.
That's a fun matchup, right? A few good matchups in here. Then I would have Scotty Pepper going up against Escobedo. Similar-ish type duels a little bit there, yo.
Interesting.
And then last would be Sissio against Big J, same as your matchup there. But a lot of fun matchups there. I would like to see. I know O'Hearn and Perry, they go at it a little bit. They played a few times in JCC and a few other places. Saka and Edie would be a fun matchup. And like you said, watching Big J and Sissio, Matt trying to pull him out there, Jay trying to impose his will down low. Can Escobedo, like you said, can he find his way in an all-star sea of people? So what do you think? Well, who would win between my 5 versus my other 5?
I think it's going to be the Creators again, but it's a different game. It's less points scored. O'Hearn out there, playing a little bit lockdown. Esco and who's Esco matched up against Pepper. It's a super interesting matchup. Pepper's long. It's gonna make Esco shoot over him a lot. I think that's a lower scoring game. But I think it's interesting. I'm gonna give the edge to the Creators. Again, the manifesto, you can't go against Esco.
Yep.
All right, everyone's favorite segment. We have to talk about who got snubbed. And we're not talking about snubs like you and I got snubbed for not being voted in. I'm
Right.
kidding.
Right.
I'm talking about who didn't make the ballot that should be. Um, I think there's two really obvious ones.
Okay.
So you can pick whichever one you want. I think I'll take
Yep.
the other one.
Okay.
Just give us, whatever, 10, 20 seconds on your snub and, why you think he was snubbed.
I'll pick one guy because he comes, obviously, when you think of All Star in the SDL, one guy comes to mind immediately for me, and that's my buddy Jose, the point guard. One of the best players in the league. Obviously, I haven't been stat watching for him, but the pie hasn't been up to par that much. Maybe he
Hmm.
had maybe one or two down stat wise games, but even if his stats are down, he's still controlling the game for Black out there, doing all the little things that matter, setting up the plays, moving Lon around. But probably the biggest snub this season, but I know he won't be heard about it. He's a great guy, is Jose.
Better than great guy. That's absolutely the number one pick for snubs.
Mhm.
Um, my snub, I'm gonna go with Brandon Silver.
Mhm.
And he was the next guy off the list. I just looked in
Mhm.
our top 10 for the founders. He
Mhm.
would have been the next one up into this. Obviously, super super deserving of that list. And frankly, it just goes to show how incredible Purple's been. Vasquez is in, Sissio is in, Shore is in.
Mhm.
So a fourth guy from Purple, like, what are we doing
Right.
here? He was knocking on the door. Frankly, he's just the pies aren't that big.
Right. Right.
so
That's
so
what it
I,
is.
I
Yes.
I he very easily again put Vasquez in a separate category because of the way he's been scoring this year.
Mhm.
Sissio obviously third largest highest point or vote getter this year. But if you swapped out Silver and Sissio, and I know Sissio would be thinking the same thing, no one would bat an eye
Mhm.
that Silver got in. Same thing with Shore getting
Right.
in. I think Silver is a super deserving rookie. I think would have probably been voted in had he clinched that threshold
Yep.
by a little bit.
Yep.
So really interesting there. Um, we can cut this if this doesn't work, Edie. But back to you. Do you have another pick, Joey? Another snub that you want to talk about? I don't really have anybody else that
I
really
don't
comes to
have.
mind.
Yeah, there's a few guys like uh I guess it's tough. We have so many players in the league, and with the pie stat the way it is, I mean, it's not really any snubs. No one should really be upset. But like we said, Jose and Brandon Silver, two guys that could be all stars on any given team, any given night. Besides that, I'm sure there's a bunch of deserving all stars up and down this whole entire league. On any given night, there's a lot of guys who go off for crazy stats, go off for crazy points, make crazy plays. So that's what the best thing about this league is. Even though this year we have a new group of 14 guys out there. Like we said, it's a new group. It's cool to not see the same, few
Hmm.
what exact same teams out there as last season. So that's what makes this fun.
Yeah, I think we're missing one. For the cow. Eric
Okay. Yep.
Kaufer was
Yep.
also very, very
Mhm.
close to eclipsing the threshold. I don't know
Mhm.
if he would have been voted in,
Right.
but certainly worthy to mention that Kaufer's been playing at a reasonable all star
Yep.
level. One of the most athletic guys in the league, one of the younger guys in the league.
I think he's
Um,
also playing at a potential DPOY level right now. The blocks he had last night against the Great Beard Goats, he was everywhere. He's got the length. He's got the spring in his step when he plays defense. So
yeah,
absolute DPOY candidate right there for Kaufer.
Yeah, and speaking of Further Cow and Matt Sissio, we mentioned a couple times tonight, opening night, or maybe it was week two, Sissio and I announced a game together, and Sissio said, "Mark my words, Eric Kaufer is going to lead the league in blocks at the end of the season."
I
Which
do remember that. Yep.
in a league that has Big J in it,
Yep.
that's a really impressive feat if that comes to fruition. So,
Yep.
yeah, I think Kaufer deserves to be mentioned in the snub category.
Agreed.
Okay, so let us move on to the 3-point contest. Okay, throw them up. Threes. All right, folks, here's how we did it. The All Star Committee took a look at 3-pointers made, 3-pointers attempted, 3-point field goal percentage, and we, in order to not have 16 people like we did last year, which took
Mhm.
way, way, way too long, uh, the All Star Committee then, excuse me, the All Star Committee chose the top four statistically based 3-point shooters from each conference of people that are going to be in attendance,
Yep.
and said, let's go play ball. 4-on-4. This is a conference battle, folks. Don't get me wrong. There's a belt for the 3-point champion, but this is a conference battle. So for the creator side, I'm just going to rip through all 4. There's not going to be too many surprises here. Here are the 4 creators from the creator conference that'll be representing the creators in the 3-point contest. Jason 3D Edie, no surprise, it's in the name. Dennis Kelly, the assassin. Splash Brothers, Goat Storms, Graybeard Goat Brothers, whatever the hell they're calling themselves nowadays, both in. Anthony Escobedo. And rounding out the 4th spot, Chris Diaz, my teammate.
Rookie.
Who started slow. Rookie, yes, good. Rookie. Started slow from 3 this year. Last few games, though, including last night, just absolutely lights out. Had a 50% from 3 game not that long ago. Look, we talked about ED's shot. We talked about Dennis' shot. We've talked about Esco's shot. Take a minute, talk about Diaz. Obviously, my teammate, I'm a little biased. But the dude can shoot the lights out. You know him really well from the JCC. How do you think his shot fares in a traditional 3-point contest versus game flow?
Right. So I notice immediately Diaz's shot is pure. Every time he shoots it, I always think it's going in. Good rotation, good form, good jump shot release, everything like that. But one thing I do remember from last season, if everyone doesn't know, we used the Dr. Dish for the 3-point contest. I'm not sure if we're going to be using it again, but let's just say we are.
I don't think so.
No, we're not? Okay.
I don't think so.
Okay.
No, I don't think so.
That fares well for Diaz because he has a little bit of a flatter arc on his shot.
Yep.
So without the Dr. Dish, that sat maybe 1-2 feet above the rim. So you had to get the arc to get it over. If you guys had trouble with that last season, but if we're not doing that, Diaz, he could take it. He could get hot and take it easily. You know what I mean? If it's at a standstill 3-point shot like this, you get 5 shots at each position. Diaz can go crazy. And then you obviously got Edie, Dennis, Escobedo. Escobedo came in second to the 3-point contest last year to Bomber. Absolute snipers out there, like we said. The Splash Bros, those are 4 absolute flamethrowers, and it's going to be a good matchup out there to see who pulls out the championship belt this season.
Absolutely. And then from the Founders side, we've got 4. The 4 people representing the Founders Conference in the 3-point contest. David Vasquez, no surprise. Dr. Jason Perry. Just Ian. And my co-host, Joey Winston, rounding out the top 4. Yeah, man.
Hey, I'll take it. Let's go. I didn't know.
Yes, sir. This is live breaking news. Yes, sir.
Breaking
You
news.
are representing the Founders Conference. You're one of the top 4. You will be shooting 3-pointers with some of the best in the league. Joey, it's about time one of us got some recognition here. Again, that's a joke. Super well deserved. Really, really happy for you. Look, the Hard Reich Bet is going to be putting in odds for everybody. There's gonna be a little Nehoda money on J-Dub for the Founders Conference. That's for sure. Look, we've talked about Vasquez and Perry. Talk a little bit about Ian, and then I'll talk about you.
So Ian, yeah, he's last season he was on a different team on purple and white. Actually, I believe he played on 2, but he was unconscious from 3 last season, from what I can remember. Rolled it right into season 2. As soon as DeMar went down, a lot of the offensive burden landed on Ian. And he has absolutely made a lot of it. You know, he's making a lot of shots, taking tough shots off the dribble, off of screens. And his shot is pure. You know, he's got the nice form, nice rotation, seems to go in, gets a little lift on his jump shot. But yeah, another great shooter.
Absolutely. And like we said, we've got you representing that final spot. Look, I think you're a great spot up shooter. I personally don't think defensively. I do think you're more of a game flow guy. You run with that energy. You'd rather catch one off of coming off a screen, turn and fire. We'll check how your spot up game is, but super excited that you're going to be competing in this. I want you to win that belt. That belt, I donated that belt to the league last year. I bought that for the 3-point champ. So I want you to bring that thing home for the SDL Live podcast. So you gotta do me a solid there and win this one.
I'll give it my best. I'll try.
So we're doing 4-on-4 for that 3-point contest. We missing anything?
Yeah, but wait, I believe 4-on-4 doesn't sound exactly right. I think we got at least one more spot. And that one more spot, at least, maybe 1 or 2, has got to go to the defending champ, Andrew Bomber. He's got to have a chance to defend his title. He's in there.
That's true. That's a really good point. So the creators will have 5. Edie, Dennis, Diaz, Esco, and Andrew Bomber. defending his title. You got to give the guy a chance to defend his title regardless of the stats, right?
Yes.
Oh shit, that means
But we can't have 5-on-4 though.
yeah.
It's tough.
So founders. Let's see.
Who
We have
else
to
likes
ask
to
somebody.
shoot threes?
Oh,
Anyone likes to shoot
wait,
threes?
wait. I have an idea. I have an idea. This would be really funny.
Okay.
This is gonna get laughs. You know the worst shooter of the night award, the Lou.
I do.
Let's put the guy in that we named that award after.
I love it.
Luis Garcia, you are the fifth
Garcia.
and final person. We'll call that the charity ad. The fifth and
Yep.
final person to enter the 3-point contest for the founders. So again, to
Right.
run through Edie, Dennis, Diaz, Esco, and defending champ Andrew Baumer for the creators. And on the founder side, Vasquez, Perry, Ian, Joey, and charity ad the Lou.
The Lou.
Luis Garcia.
Garcia. Yes. Perfect.
Awesome. I don't think there's any snubs here. I don't think there's any surprises here. One thing I will say is I believe Pepper was the next one up for the founders right after Lewis. He was the next one right there. But yeah, pretty solid 3-point shooters here. This one I gotta give to the creators. I think standing in front of a machine and shooting 3-pointers is Edie's bread and butter. So if we're placing bets on a conference as a whole, I think the creators have more options.
Yep.
But again, I'm going to be sprinkling a little bit of money on the J Dub, my co-host part, like my podcast co-host here, to get a dub. But super excited for the 3-point contest. Super excited for All Star Weekend. Joey, final thoughts on the events as a whole. I think you and I are emceeing this whole thing.
Yep. Beat me to it.
Edie said we're gonna have 2 mics, one recording, so we can do playbacks, we can do clips, and then another one coming out of the loudspeaker. So you and I are gonna be organizing this whole thing, talking through the whole thing. Rest up your voice, lots of water. Well, in this case, Pellegrino.
Yep.
Keep them pipes fresh the rest of this week, and I will see you on Sunday, my friend. Oh, actually, I'm gonna see you sooner than that for our recap podcast.
One more pod. Yep, one more pod before we have one more week of action this week. We have obviously the All Star game this Sunday at 1 o'clock. If you don't do anything, tune in. Like Matt said, we'll be on the mic the whole day, serenading you guys with our voices. But then next week on Tuesday, we have another slate of games before we take a few weeks off for the holidays, recoup, come back and for the playoff push. But yeah, a podcast coming out at the end of this week. You guys should see it before All Star game. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Like we said, All-Star game, 3-point contest. We do a little knockout game for the guys as well, some food, some games for the kids. It's a great time. If you're sticking around and have nothing to do that day, check it out. Live, YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, all that. But yep, it should be a great time.
Fantastic. Thanks again, Joey. I appreciate you getting on late for an emergency podcast. For myself, Matt Nehoda, and my wonderful co-host Joey Winston. This was an emergency edition, all-star edition, SDL live podcast. Thank you very much.
See you guys.